Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new iContrast video, bringing you some news on the F1 2018 game. This video is going to cover all the things that have been released about the game so far, all the features that have been leaked or confirmed, as well as some new announcements from Codemasters as they bring out a new F1 2018 game on the mobile device featuring all the 2018 cars, etc., which is also free to play and featuring customizable cars, which we'll get into details about in a moment. But for now, I'm just going to keep it as matter of fact, pretty much keep it as simple as possible, and just list out all the features that we have confirmed for the new game that are somewhat new at least, and hopefully this will give you all the information you need to know so far that has been released about the game. So it is known that the following features will be included in the next installment of the F1 series, and that is time-pressured press interviews, which is all about the make headlines kind of motto they're going for this year. To be honest, I think they're going to be like the F1 2010 kind of interviews, but they will be time pressured, meaning that it's most likely you'll be given a certain amount of time, maybe like 20-30 seconds, to make a decision upon being asked a question, and then with that question being asked, you have to provide an answer given by the game. It could be multiple answers, and then depending on what you answer with, this could affect your outcome in the game with the reputation of the teams. Furthermore, there will be expanded paddock locations and interactions, so that means that you'll be able to interact with more non-personal characters in the game, such as your contract manager and the person that gives you the events with the classic cars, such as in the F1 2017 game. And also, this will probably have some sort of influence on your ability to pursue driver contracts, as that is also another feature in the game apparently. I'm guessing it would be something related to the time pressured interviews. Determine your championship rivals is also another feature. It's pretty much it's been in previous games. I'm guessing that maybe you can choose between more people or the whole grid. I'm not sure when you'll be able to choose, but apparently that's a new feature. Managing your reputation would be highly relative to how you deal with the press, I'm sure, and how you go about your race weekends. Press, reputation, and feedback. I'm guessing that this will also be about how you deal with the press and answer those questions that you are given with the timer. So also we'll see an expanded pre-post race broadcast speech, which will probably just cover more of the stuff before the race and after the race, like you see in the usual broadcasts on TV. Probably some grid walks and all that sort of stuff, and maybe a reconnaissance lap before you start your warm-up lap. Not 100% sure on that exactly yet, but I'm sure more information will be released soon about that. Additional classic cars they're adding to the collection of what they already have in terms of the classic cars that are included in the F1 2017 game. I'm sure there's a few cars that stand out, like the Brawn racing car of 2009. I think they dominated with Jenson Button. That would probably be included as far as I guess. And we're going to be looking at some player ranking finally with the super license in multiplayer. So I'm guessing it's going to be something like Gran Turismo Sport, how they've incorporated the multiplayer licensing with I think it's the FIA. Have they? I'm pretty sure they've gone through the FIA with that as well. So I'd expect Formula 1 to do something similar to that, which is fantastic because I am sick of being crashed out during races, and maybe they can do something about grading people with their sportsmanship rating and then collectively grouping people with the same sort of sportsmanship rating in online lobbies. As well as this, we're going to be having full ERS management. I'm guessing this is either going to go down the KERS avenue where you deploy it using a button, or perhaps maybe during a race weekend before the race, we can look at the sectors and then choose where we want the ERS to be harvested and deployed throughout those sectors, and maybe even corners. So hopefully it's a bit more like that. I'd prefer to not have to manage my ERS on the track. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much set in stone with the race weekend from the engineering point of view, after they've chose the locations for which the ERS will be harvested and deployed. So hopefully we can choose that sort of area on the tablet during a practice session, or maybe qualifying, and certainly before the race, And maybe for online lobbies when you don't have the time to do all that sort of stuff, maybe we can deploy it as a curse. It's just that we got so many buttons doing different things. I know we got the additional button from F1 2017, and I think some previous games too, where we have to press a button to talk to the engineer. So I'm not sure how they're going to map it exactly, but it'll be somewhat like curse if they go down that avenue as well. So hopefully that improves overtaking with the game. I know that it's really difficult, just as it is in real life, to overtake someone at most tracks due to the downforce and dirty air. It'll also create another sort of element of strategy as to where you want to deploy and harvest that ARS, and some people will be weaker in some sorts of the track than others and stronger, probably down the straights and other long areas such as where you want to put the throttle down, and hopefully we can get more overtakes from that sort of thing. I've also heard numerous places that there is said to be a big improvement in the sound from the turbo and engine as such, so that'll also be really satisfying to listen to, and also the fact that the F1 2018 cars are in general louder than the F1 2017 cars. So Codemasters have recently decided to release some news about a new mobile game that is set to be releasing on Android and iOS, free to play apparently, and includes all the F1 2018 tracks and cars. But the more important thing about this to me is the ability to develop and customize your own F1 car for the first time, as it states in the information on the screen. And to me, that is substantial amount of news, because if they can do it on the mobile device, that tells me they've got the licensing to customize F1 cars, and perhaps we're going to be most likely seeing that in the F1 2018 game. So I think it's safe to say that we can get our hopes up for putting new liveries and custom liveries that we have made ourselves on F1 cars for perhaps online races, and maybe career mode where you design your own team. That would be really nice, how you can develop different parts of your car. That would be something really substantial to an improved career mode, as they state, to be seen in the F1 2018 game as well. I might be wrong, but that's definitely the way I've interpreted it. I think I am right, but there is always the chance that they might not include it, but I definitely think they're going to go down that way. As well, if they're going to be able to customize cars, then it's either going to go one way where you can choose a preset like the helmets that you get in the F1 2017 game, or we can add shapes and customize shapes, colors, and all that sort of thing on F1 cars. It'd be sort of similar to GT Sport, although I'm not sure how they would go with the licensing with the shapes and stuff, as we could create logos from those shapes and upload different shapes online if they go that way. But you know, it's most likely going to be something along the lines of a preset. But if not, then this is something I've kind of came up with, what it might look like to choose a car or develop a livery for a car in career mode. This livery was designed by Sean Bull Design, so be sure to check out his website. I'll leave a link in the description, and hopefully we can have some cool liveries that we can design ourselves, add another personal touch to the game. Another feature that they have advanced in F1 2018 with particular emphasis in the breakdown kind of trailer that they've given us so far with Leclerc driving around Monaco, is the fact that they've improved the weather systems in the graphics and the lighting of how the surroundings look, especially going through the tunnel as such. But that's definitely an area they've been working in, and it looks fantastic. So hopefully we'll see more improvement in the near future with more updates from Codemasters. Another thing that I would also like to see in the game is some dedicated servers that we can rent ourselves and purchase ourselves. This is definitely not a confirmed feature or anything. It's just something I'd like to see in the game, as you know, Codemasters probably wouldn't be able to afford dedicated servers themselves, but if we could purchase them or rent them for a specific amount of time, then that way they could probably implement that into the game, and then that way we can have decent league races with no lag at all. And that would also be really helpful to the league racing community, especially with the esports taking stage. Another thing I'd like to see that isn't confirmed or in the game yet is podium celebrations. So Ricardo does a shoey. I know that's somewhat trademarked by Formula 1 now, as in stubby holders. I'm not 100% sure on that sort of thing either, but Sebastian Vettel doing the Egyptian dance on, I think it was the Hungarian Grand Prix one time. If we could unlock those sort of things by doing multiplayer challenges, I think that would be really cool, and a really cool addition to the game for a personal touch as well. I'd also like to see more customizability for the helmets, as I'm not really satisfied with how they've gone with the presets. I'd like to see more ability to change the shapes and color of the helmet design as well, to make it more of our own style. But if you have any suggestions that you'd like to see in the game as well that isn't listed by Codemasters already to be in the F1 2018 game, but you think that would make a good addition, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Hopefully we can get them to include some of these ideas. It would be nice. Hopefully you found this video informative. If you feel it deserves a like, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more new content, and until then, I'll see you all in a brand new one.